Hello, everyone. Is everyone there? Good evening, everyone. It's nice to see you all. Who's there with us? Okay, let's see. Hello, Gabriel. Who's there? Hello, Itzhak. Oh, Ivanovich, how's it? How are you? Long time. I missed you.
How are you, Rolf? Yeah.
But Hashem, you're all missing. I don't know where you are. Missing you all. Where do you hide?
Too busy.
Hello, Iva. Nice to see you. Who else with us? Who else with us? Good. So what's happening? Let's go and prepare ourselves for the show. Let's see who's else joining us.
Hello, Rob.
Itzhak, how's it? How are you? Who's that with us?
Mark.
Hello, Mark. How's it? How are you?
Baruch Hashem.
You. Good to see you.
And you, Rob. Before I forget, can I ask a quick question?
Sure, if I can.
No, I just want to know when we change over from to Tain Tal. It's supposed to be on the 4th or the 5th. So what is our minhag?
6th.
Yeah, there's two different opinions. So some people say on the 6th of December, and some people say on the 4th. And some people say, oh, the 4th or the 3rd, you know. I don't know what is the custom that you follow, but what is the Art Scroll say?
We were told
the
the 6th.
Says the 4th.
The Art Scroll say?
The Birnbaum
Ivan?
says the 4th.
Art Scroll says 4th, but we were told because it's a leap year, it's going to be the 6th.
Okay. You see, there's different opinion. The 6th of December going to be Sunday, and the 4th going to be Friday. So, okay, it's vice versa. It's not here, it's not there. Okay, so I will actually, today's the 4th, if I'm not mistaken. Today's the 4th.
All right.
Good.
Tomorrow, yeah, tonight. It's tonight. Okay. You see, I'm a half a shlofen, I tell you the truth. Anyway, we're going to start the Parashat Shavua Be'ezrat Hashem. I would like to dedicate the show in honor of Rabbi Tenza, Rav Avraham Haim Ben Eliezer Yaakov, to Leilui Nishmat Esther Kaden Bat Ketzia, ולעילוי נשמת מרדכי Ben Rahma. Ivanovich, what's your dad's name?
My mom and my dad. My mom, Daniela Batya.
Yeah, your mom. Huh?
Daniela Batya Bat Baila.
Daniela Batya Bat Baila.
Yaakov Ruvain.
Bat Yaakov Ruven. Okay.
Abraham Benjamin Ben Aaron.
ולעילוי נשמת אברהם בנימין בן אהרון, ולעילוי נשמת ישראל מנחם, לא? ישראל מנחם. Your uncle, your cousin. ישראל ראובן בן פנחס. אוקיי, נשמתם תהיה צרורה בצרור החיים, ולרפואת מנשה נג'י בן פרחה, ליאורה בת מרים, הרב אברהם בן מרימה, הרב שלמה יהודה בן דליה, יצחק בן טובה, דבורה בת אסתר, גולדה איטול בת שולמית לאה, ולרפואת חפציבה אנה בת שרה אימנו.
בן ציון בן מרים.
ולרפואת בן ציון בן מרים. Please God, refuah shlema to him and to all.
Rob, can I say one thing?
Sure.
So, 2 Shabbos ago was my dad's 10th Yortzeit. It's the 10th year that I've known you and Hilton, that you brought me into the community and helped me in my first Kaddish and took me through that whole first year. So thank you. It's now 10 years. It's crazy, but that's what I've now known you for. Thank you for everything that you've done.
Pleasure. Thank you. Thanks to you. No thanks to me. I do nothing. I do always. I do nothing. Guys, thanks to you.
Yeah.
You're very
I'm gonna
modest,
mute-
my friend. You're very, very modest.
Exactly.
I'm going to mute everyone. Mark, you're going to unmute yourself, okay? Okay, so Be'ezrat Hashem, now we're going to start the shi'ur. Be'ezrat Hashem, na'aseh v'natzliach. What's happened? Where I am? I don't know where I am. I am here. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah. Be'ezrat Hashem, na'aseh v'natzliach, v'Hashem alenu berachamav yarviach. As we done for the last few years, we're going to do now, we're going to continue with introduction to the Parsha. So in the year 2205, as we mentioned in the last shi'ur, Yaakov Avinu and the entire member of his family living Aram Naharaim. Aram Naharaim, we explained, it's the north, is in between Iraq and Kurdistan there, very close to Iraq. That's where they used to live. They leaving Lavan and they start marching towards Eretz Israel. In that things happen that Yaakov Avinu sending angels to his brother Esav to tell him that he's coming to Eretz Israel. Esav coming with 400 people. Some people said to welcome. We'll see in the Parsha what happened with those 400 people. Yaakov Avinu actually arriving in Shechem, in the city of Shechem, with entire member of his family. He was there for a while, and Dinah been taken by Shechem ben Hamor. Shechem was the son of Hamor, and that's why the city called Shechem on the name of the son, because the father, that his name was Hamor, he was the king of the city. And what happened there? That Hazal said that Shechem was controlling his father. The Midrash explained. And there Shechem took Dinah. We know what's happened. He kidnapped Dinah. We'll learn about it also in the Parsha Be'ezrat Hashem. Okay, and the third day for the circumcision of the member of the people of Shechem, the city of Shechem, it was in the year 2007. The two sons of Yaakov Avinu, Shimon and Levy, killed the entire city. That means destroyed the entire city. In the year 2208 for the creation, Rachel Imenu passed away while she giving birth to Binyamin. Here there is a Hidush. In every member of the tribes, you have a twin girls. Binyamin have two twin girls with him. That means that when she given birth, Hazal explained to Binyamin, she given a birth to a triplet, two girls with them, two twin girls. Okay. And she was an age of 37 when she passed away, and Yaakov Avinu buried Rachel Imenu al Em HaDerech. What it means, Em HaDerech? On the side of the road. We'll learn about it, why Dafka the side of the road. Okay. And Yaakov Avinu was in the age of 100 when he arrived in the city of Hebron, where his father and his mother was, after 22 years that they was separated one from each other. In the year 2214 for the creation, Rivka Imenu, the mother of Yaakov and Esav, passed away in the age of 133, and she been buried in Ma'arat HaMachpelah in Hebron. Okay. In the year 2215 for the creation, Leah Imenu passed away. Leah, remember, that's the wife, the second wife of Yaakov, or the first wife, depends how you want to look at it. And there is a mahloket amongst the Mefarshim, if she was 44 years old or 45 years old when she passed away. Yaakov Avinu obviously buried her in Ma'arat HaMachpelah in Hebron, and that time Yaakov Avinu was an age of 106 years old. And now we're going to start the Parasha. The Parasha starts like this. Vayishlach Yaakov malachim lefanav el Esav achiv. Okay.
Then Jacob sent angels. Can you hear me, Rob?
Yeah.
Then Jacob
Yeah.
sent angels ahead of him to Esav, his brother, to the land of Seir, the field of Edom.
Okay. We see here something very interesting. Yaakov Avinu sent angels to his brother. And many of the Mefarshim ask, first of all, the first question that we have to ask, Vayishlach, why did Yaakov Avinu have to send angels to Esav? Isn't it better to keep shtum, not to wake up the bear, leave the bear sleeping, and go to Eretz Yisrael? Why do you have to wake up the bears? Why do you have to wake up the lion? You know, in English, there is, here in South Africa, there is a song, in the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleep tonight. Leave him to sleep. Why do you want to wake up this lion? Leave him to sleep. So this question been asked by many of the Mefarshim, and today, Be'ezrat Hashem, I'm going to try to bring two different opinions. The one opinion is the Zohar HaKadosh on our Parsha, and page 166, folio 1, Hazal explained like this. Listen to what Hazal say. Hazal say that the main reason that Yaakov Avinu decide to tell his brother Esav that he is coming is to explain to him that he knew one very important thing. Yaakov knew that his brother Esav respecting Yitzhak Avinu, his father. And he knew as long that Yitzhak Avinu is alive, no danger. He doesn't have danger to his life. When is the danger going to become? Only after his father died. He said, now that I didn't see him for 22 years, maybe it's the right time after 22 years, while my father's still alive, is to make peace with my brother, and that will solve all the problem. That's the opinion of Hazal in the Zohar, in 166, folio 1. I saw another commentary, a beautiful commentary that brought by Rabbi Avraham Saba. Rabbi Avraham Saba, just to give you a bit of history about him, he born 580 years ago in the city of Castilla in Spain, and he was the Mehutan of the Maran Bet Yosef, Rabbi Yosef Karo, that wrote the Shulchan Aruch. And he wrote a book, Tzror Amor. And he explained that Yaakov Avinu, a matter of fact, what he done here is what Hazal tell us to do in a Gemara in Yerushalmi. Hazal in a Gemara in Yerushalmi in Masechet Ta'anit, in chapter 3, Halacha 6. Hazal tell us, I'm going to read it in Aramaic, then I translate it to Hebrew, and then I also translate it to English. Hazal tell us like this, Okir le'asayich, ad delo ttzarech le. What does it mean? That you must respect your doctor before you need him. In a different words, in order to obtain the sympathy of your doctor, you should win his heart. Then he will treat you differently. Not only differently, he's going to treat you better. That means, Hazal tell us that before you go to a doctor or someone that you need to treat them better. So what did Yaakov Avinu done here? He knew that he, in the end, eventually, he have to make peace with us. So he decided, you know what? Let me go. Let me honor him. Let me treat him well. And he'll see that I'm coming in the name of peace now to him. I'm announcing, I'm telling him, listen, I'm coming. Maybe that will soften his heart, and then he will treat me better and he will treat me differently. That's the two reasons why Yaakov Avinu sent, angels to Esav. Now come the second thing, angel. Vayishlach Yaakov angels. The question of many of the Mefarshim ask, and Rashi HaKadosh say, look what Rashi HaKadosh say, Vayishlach Yaakov malachim. Yaakov sent angels. Angels can be human beings. Rashi HaKadosh say, malachim mamash, real angel. And we have to understand question. And many of the Mefarshim ask, what is Malachim Mamash? Why did Yaakov Avinu, number one, have to send Malachim? Why did he have to send angels and not human beings? Number two, where did Yaakov have angels? Where did he have all of those angels? What you manufacturing angels? We'll see. We'll answer these two questions. So the first question that we ask, why did Yaakov send angels and not human beings? I'm going to bring Be'ezrat Hashem two different answers. So I'm going to bring the first answer, it's Rabbi Tzadok HaKohen Miluvlin. Rabbi Tzadok HaKohen Miluvlin, he born in Poland, in the city of Lublin, 197 years ago. And in his book, he wrote, in his book, Kometz HaMincha, he explained like this, that the main reason that Yaakov Avinu sent angels and not human being, because if he would send human being cannot read the heart of a person. He said he wanted to know, is Esav coming towards them to war, or he coming towards them in the name of peace? Because 400 people joining him, coming with him. So what's happening here? So Yaakov Avinu decided to send angel that they will know what's in the heart of Esav. That's why Yaakov Avinu decided to send real angel. I saw another commentary that brought in the name of Rabbi Menachem ben Meir Eisenstadt. He born 212 years ago in Ukraine, and he wrote the book Homat HaEsh. What it means, Homat HaEsh? The wall of fire. And there he explained that the main reason that Yaakov Avinu sent angel and not human being, because Yaakov Avinu was worried that if he sent human being to Esav, Esav can influence them and learn from his way. And he said, you know where I learned that? I learned that from the Mishnah in Masechet Avot. Hazal in the Mishnah in Masechet Avot tell us something extraordinary. In chapter 1, Mishnah 7, Hazal tell us like this. Harhek mishachen ra. Be away from a bad neighbor. Ve'al tithaber larasha. And don't be friendly with a wicked person. So Yaakov Avinu say, if I'm going to send human being, they might going to see Esav. They might going to see the evil forces of Esav. He's so wicked that he might going to influence them. And Yaakov Avinu was worried that might Esav going to influence the people, the human being that he'll send to him. Therefore, we decide I'm going to sell angel, because angels Esav can't influence. Now come the second question. The second question is that asked by Rabbi Simcha Bunam Mipashischa. Rabbi Simcha Bunam Mipashischa born 255 years ago. And he born in Poland, by the way. And he explained like this. How can it be that Yaakov Avinu can use angel to send to Esav? So Rabbi Bunam Mipashischa explained like this. He said, where did he get the permission? You know where he get the permission to use angel? He said that in a time of dire strait, that a Jewish person is in dire strait, and he have life threat by Esav. When he say Esav, he mean any enemies, Jewish enemies. He said that if he need help, he can use the help of angels. What does it mean? People that creating angels can use them. And now we're going to get to it. Rabbi Azariah Mipijo. Rabbi Azariah Mipijo explained, Rabbi Azariah Mipijo born in the city of Venice. He born in Italy 445 years ago. He wrote the book Bina La'atim. And in his book, in speech number 2, Bina La'atim, speech number 2, he asked the question, wait, where did Yaakov Avinu have so many angels? What, Yaakov Avinu is a magician that he pulled from himself 1 minute a handkerchief, then the next minute it's going to be a rabbit, whatever. What's happening here? Yaakov Avinu just can create angel. So say Rabbi Azariah Mipijo say like this, Yaakov Avinu, the angel that he sent, we have to understand, he said, there's two kinds of angels. There is the angels that, Rashi said, that gone down to walk with him out of Eretz Israel. That means that they took him and they guard him until the border of Eretz Israel. From Eretz Israel, okay, that was the border where he lived. From there, when he left Eretz Israel, was a different angel that came to welcome him. He said those angels was all the time that HaKadosh Baruch Hu given Yaakov Avinu. But he said Yaakov Avinu didn't want to use those angels. Yaakov Avinu, matter of fact, used the angel that he created by his own mitzvah. And like we explained, that when a person do a mitzvah, he create angels. And if he create a mitzvah 100% perfectly, he create an angel that is 100%. So he said like this. He asked now a different question. Wait, why don't want to use the angel that HaKadosh Baruch Hu given you? So he said that Yaakov Avinu was worried to use the angel of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Why? Because using the angel of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is like using the scepter of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You know, like the king have a scepter, you know, like King Ahasuerus, like when Esther came, you know, and Ahasuerus put the scepter in the front of her to tell her that she can come. Those angels, they are the scepter of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And Yaakov Avinu was worried. How can I use that? I'd rather use my own angels. And that's why Yaakov Avinu, where he have all the angels. And then, let's continue in verse 5. Look what it says. ויצב אותם לאמור, כה תאמרון לאדוני לעשיו, כה אמר עבדך יעקב, עם לבן גרתי, ואחר עד עתה.
He charged them, saying, thus shall you say, to my lord to Esav, so said your servant Yaakov, I have sojourned with Lavan and have lingered until now.
Okay, there is many mefarshim that Hazal say, what it means garti im Esav? So in previous year we explained why did Esav didn't chase Yaakov to Lavan's house? Because Hazal explained that Lavan, okay, if you turn it backwards, if you read it backwards, you'll get the word Naval. Naval is a witchcrafter, is a magician. Not only that, Naval can be translated as a wicked person, as a crook, many names. And Esav, Hazal said that was frightened to go to the house of Lavan, Esav HaRasha. That's in previous year. But Rashi HaKadosh says something extraordinary. Rashi HaKadosh say, Garti im Lavan gematria Taryag. Taryag. That means that he kept the 613 mitzvot. Rabbi, if we stop for a minute and we look at it, that Esav really cared. If Yaakov Avinu kept 613 mitzvot or not, Esav is a wicked, he doesn't care. You come and tell me that you kept 613 mitzvot, I'm not interested. That's question number one. Why did he say Taryag mitzvot? But question number two, that many of the Mefarshim say, how can Rashi say that gematria of Taryag, Garti is Taryag mitzvot? How did you say that it's Taryag mitzvot? Where did you come to that? And we have to understand, many of the Mefarshim ask, how can you say that Yaakov Avinu kept all the 613 mitzvot? There is certain mitzvot that you can fulfill them only if Bet HaMikdash exists, number one. Okay, for example, Truma Gdola, that you give to the Kohanim. Okay, that's from the first produce of coming from the land. And then Maaser Rishon, that you give 10% of after you given the Truma Gdola to the Levy. Okay, that's number two. The year of the Yovel. Okay, not only that, the Kilaim, the law of Kilaim. What it means, the law of Kilaim? Mixing and mixed breeding flowers with vegetables, trees with vegetables. Those only when Bet HaMikdash exists, these Hilchot Kilaim. So how does it work? Not only that, Many of the Mefarshim say something else. That's Bet HaMikdash. There's certain mitzvot that only if you live in Eretz Israel, you can fulfill them. If you live in a diaspora, you're not obligated. And Chazal say, how did Yaakov say it? For example, we know that Matnot Bikurim is Bet HaMikdash, okay? Sorry, before I meant Eretz Israel. Matnot Bikurim is Bet HaMikdash. Not only that, Korban Pesach. When do you bring the sacrifice of the Pesach? Only when Bet HaMikdash exists. Shvi'it, it's only in Eretz Israel. You don't have to keep it for the diaspora. So how can you, Rashi, tell me that Yaakov Avinu said that he kept all the 613 mitzvot? You understand what I'm saying, guys? Because Rashi say that Taryag mitzvot shamarti. That means Yaakov telling the angel, go tell Esav, I kept all the 613 mitzvot. And many Mefarshim say, you lived number one in the diaspora. Number two, Bet HaMikdash wasn't exist. So how can you say all of that? How can you tell me that you kept all the 16 mitzvot? So I saw a beautiful commentary that brought by the Gaon Hida. The Gaon Hida is Rabbi Haim Yosef David Azulai. He born 296 years ago in Jerusalem, and in his book Pnei David, the face of David. Now I will explain something about the Gaon Hida. The Gaon Hida wrote many books, and all of his book he wrote about the organ of the body. Each books that he wrote about different organ of the body. Like this book he wrote, the face. It's called Pnei David, the face of David. And he revealed to us a secret. Rabbi, I listen to that, and you'll understand how that we live in a diaspora and we don't have Bet HaMikdash, we can fulfill 613 mitzvot. Although that those mitzvot not exist today, we can fulfill them. So in his book, he explained like this. He said that the person that learned Torah and he learned the mitzvot, for example, mitzvot bikurim, that only Bet HaMikdash exists, or mitzvat shvi'it, or mitzvat hayovel, the year of the yovel. If you learn those mitzvot, you learn what's behind them, what's the reason for it, it's considered like you fill the mitzvot. He said in that case, Yaakov Avinu will learn that he learned all the Torah. Not only that, Hazal tell us that they fulfill all the mitzvot. How do we know that? Because if they learn all the mitzvot, it's considered number one, like you learn the entire and you fulfill all the mitzvot. Okay, then we explain what it means Gematrat Taryag mitzvot. Is Esav really care? What did Esav really care if I kept the mitzvot or not? The Zohar HaKadosh explained, Rabotai, tremendously secret. He explained that Yaakov Avinu sent a message to who? To Esav. He said, Garti im Lavan, I lived with Lavan. That means tell him that I keep the 613 mitzvot. That means that I'm complete human being. What it mean complete human being? I'm like an angel because I kept all the mitzvot. And Hazal tell us that a human being have Ramah Evarim v'Shisa Gedim, 248 organs, and Shisa Gedim, that means 300 Shasa, Shin, 3, Samech is 60, 365 limb. He say that if I kept all the Torah and the mitzvot, all of those organ and limb, the equivalent to each mitzvah. If someone feel pain and agony with something, he must understand that there's certain mitzvah that he done, that it's not right. Why? Because in the merit that he done something wrong, that limb or that organ actually affecting him if he has pain. Yaakov come and say to the angel, tell my brother Esav, I'm strong. None of my limbs, I don't have any problem with my limb. I have no problem with my organ. In that case, me, myself, you want to fight me, I'm ready. I'm strong. I'm too strong. You have to be careful. And that's the secret behind the Taryag mitzvot. Im Lavan Garti. And now we can understand where Rashi said Taryag. Dafka he mentioning the 613 mitzvot that there is in the Torah. Now we can understand what really Asaf cared. Let's move on to verse 25. I'm skipping a bit because the parsha is quite long, and I would like to reach to something interesting here. In verse 25, the Torah tells us, "Vayivater Yaakov levado, vayavek ish imo ad alot hashachar."
Yaakov was left alone, and a man wrestled with him until the break of dawn.
Okay. We have to explain what's happening here. Rashi explained, actually Rashi HaKadosh bring the Gemara in Masechet Holim. The Gemara in Masechet Holim in page 91, folio 1, Rashi said that the Hazal say that Yaakov Avinu in the middle of the night decide to go back to Ma'avar Yabok. Okay, he crossed the river. In the river, because Yaakov Avinu forgot little jar. That's the Gemara in Masechet, remember, Hulin 91, folio 1. And now the Mefarshim ask, wait, we know that the person, Hazal tell us, Le'olam al yitzeh adam levado balayla. That means a person should not go by himself in darkness, okay, because it's dangerous. So how come that Yaakov Avinu put himself on risk to go and fetch little jar, like Hazal say, in the Gemara in Masechet Hulin? So I saw a commentary of the Maharshal. The Maharshal is Rabbi Shlomo Luria. Rabbi Shlomo Luria, born in the city of Brisk in Lita 510 years ago. He was the uncle of Ari HaKadosh, the famous Ari HaKadosh. That was his uncle, the Maharshal. He wrote the famous book, Yam Shel Shlomo. And he explained like this. He explained that those jars that Yaakov Avinu forgot, you know what was those jars? Those jar was an oil jar. That those oil jar that Yaakov Avinu took an oath that if he gonna be saved and he gonna arrive safely after he meet with Esav, he gonna build a monument and he gonna anoint the monument. Said the Marshal, that oil was not belong to him. That he forgot it, it's become a hegdesh because he took an oath already that he gonna anoint the altar that he gonna build. And the matzeva, what it means the matzeva, the monument that he gonna anoint in merit of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He say in that case, those oil wasn't belong to him. It belonged to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, those jars of oil. Therefore he risked his life. He says something else. He revealed to us, and that's belong to what we're gonna celebrate next Thursday night. And I find it very relevant, and I'll share with you also the next idea. The Marshal say, those jars that Yaakov Avinu danger his life to go and fetch them, the oil jar, HaKadosh Baruch Hu promised him that in the merit of that mitzvah that he risked his life, for the future to come, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will make miracle with his own kids. He's gonna give them what? The festival of Hanukkah, that the Hashmonaim made the miracle that they chased the Greek away. He said that all of that came from where? From those little jars that Yaakov Avinu risked himself to go and fetch them, that was inside, oil inside them, that he made them hekdesh to anoint the big monument that he's gonna build to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that if everything gonna go okay with Esav HaRasha. So we see from here that everything in the Torah connected. We just have to open our eyes. And the Marshal explained to us what those little jars that Hazal speak about them in a Gemara in Masechet Holim, Tzadik Aleph Amud Aleph 91 folio 1, that what is mean those little jars? It's a jar of oil. And those jar of oil in the merit of one mitzvah that our father done, Yaakov Avinu, that merit stood later on, many years later, for the Hashmonaim. Let's move on in chapter 33, verse 3 and 4. Here we see something very interesting. And now, at the beginning of the show, I explained that Esav HaRasha, when he came with his 400 people, we'll get to it also, Yaakov Avinu bowed down to him. And we have to understand what it means bow down to him. Let's read first, and Be'ezrat Hashem will explain. והוא עבר לפניהם, וישתחו ארצה 7 פעמים, עד גשתו עד אחיו. וירוץ עשיו לקראתו, ויחבקהו, ויפול על צוואריו, וישקהו, ויבכו.
Then he himself went on ahead of them and bowed earthward 7 times until he reached his brother. Esav ran towards him, embraced him, fell upon his neck and kissed him, and then they wept.
Okay, here we see, if we take the pshat of the pasuk, just the pshat, we'll see when Yaakov saw Esav from a distance, he started bowing down, he bowed 7 times. And then until he was closer to him, we have to understand what it's closer to him, then Esav ran towards Yaakov Avinu, and he hugged them and he kissed them and they cried. That's on a pshat of the dvarim, but it's not so simple. We have to understand what's hiding behind everything. And we have to understand, number one, what it means bowing down. Did Yaakov Avinu, Has v'shalom, will bow down to Esav HaRasha? Does that make sense? Has v'shalom. I'm going to bring 2 different opinions. Why did Yaakov bow down? I'm going to bring the Zohar on our Parsha, and we'll see what the Zohar explains. I'm going to bring the Ramah Mipano. The Ramah Mipano is Rabbi Menachem Azariah Mipano. He born in the city of Bologna, okay, in Italy. He born 472 years ago. He was a great Kabbalistic rabbi, one of the greatest Kabbalistic rabbi that wrote books about reincarnation. For example, when a person does certain avera, okay, he gets reincarnated as an animal or whatever. For example, in his book, Sefer HaGilgulim, the book of reincarnation, he explained that the Torah tells us that there is a prohibition to have a physical relationship between a male and a male, what we call homosexuality. And he said that the person, listen to that been involved with that kind of a sin, he gonna get reincarnated as a rabbit. Why dafka a rabbit? Listen what he explained, how the Kabbalistic rabbi work. They explain that the person that do that get reincarnated as a rabbit. One thing we don't know, a rabbit can be a male and a female, the same. They can change from female to male immediately. And I'll tell you a secret. Many years back, my little daughter was at the school. And at the school, it was a Montessori play school. And they brought a rabbit to the school. And I said to my wife come and tell me that there is rabbit. And I said to her, tell the principal that rabbit gonna breed themselves. She must be careful. She's gonna have many of them because a rabbit can be a bunny, it can be male and female. They can change their sex immediately. And my wife gone and told her to the principal. I remember that very clearly. And the principal said to her, no, I got only male. I don't have any female. Okay, a few months later, whoop, there's more bunnies. My wife said to her, you see, we told you. And you learn from here what Hazal tell us that it's true. That's about the Ramah Mipano. Let's see how he explained these verses. Why did Yaakov Avinu bow down? And he explained like this. Look what he said. He explained like this. It's God forbid to think that Yaakov Avinu bowed down to Esav. God forbid. He explained like this. He said that Yaakov Avinu, when he start to bow down, He didn't bow down to Esav. He bowed down to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu will save and redeem them from Esav. He said, where is the proof to it? He said, what does it say in a pasuk? Ad gishto ad achiv. What does it mean, ad gishto ad achiv? He said, when he was in a distance of 4 amot from Esav, when he reached to 2 meters from Esav, he stopped bowing. And Hazal tell us in the Gemara in Masechet Yoma, in page 22, folio 1, when is the person start running towards someone else? From a distance of 2 meters, you start, when you want to welcome him, you start running towards them. When Yaakov saw that he reached to the 4 amot, that means 2 meters, he stopped bowing down. And that's why, what does it say immediately after that? Vayarotz Esav likrato. Esav start running towards him. That means, Seder Ama Mipano, that from here you learn that Esav Harasha was thinking that Yaakov bowed down to him. But Yaakov Avinu made effect bowing down to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's one opinion. The Zohar HaKadosh explained it completely different. He said, and that's what we explained at the beginning of the show, Vayavo Esav likratcha vegam 400 ish ito. When Esav came towards you, he came with 400 men. What is 400 men? Why is the Torah tell us that Yaakov come with 400 people? What difference does it make to me how many people Esav come with? He said, no. Hazal in the Zohar explained the number 400 mentioned number of time in the Torah. It's mentioned, Rabotai, listen to the word 400. 400 shekel kesef over lasocher. What does it mean 400 shekel kesef over lasocher? That means when Avraham Avinu bought Ma'arat HaMachpelah, he paid Efron HaHiti 400 shekel. Okay, Hazal tell us in the Gemara number of time the number 400. And now in the Torah it's mentioned again 400. What does it mean? That means that there is 400 evil forces. When Esav came to meet with Yaakov Avinu, he brought all of those 400 evil forces to fight against Yaakov. Said the Zohar HaKadosh, each time that Yaakov Avinu bowed down, he killed, and each bow, he killed an average of 58 evil forces. That means if you multiply 58 times 7, or maybe a little bit less, 57 point something, he killed those evil forces. After 7 times, he destroyed the entire evil forces that was with Esav. When Esav saw that, immediately he was frightened. He said to himself, whoa, let me run towards him before he's going to do one more bow down. If Yaakov Avinu going to bow down, he's going to kill me, Esav said. Immediately he ran and he hugged Esav, said the Zohar HaKadosh. Why? Because Esav was frightened from Yaakov Avinu. Why? And that's what we said earlier. Im Esav garti, taryag mitzvot. The power of us keeping mitzvot, we can destroy everything. That means the power of a Jewish person, that he keep proper mitzvot. He do proper mitzvot. He fulfill them properly, he can destroy any evil forces. That means when Esav saw that he killed all those evil forces that he brought, he said, whoa, Vachabiki, now it's going to be me. Esav immediately start running towards Yaakov Avinu. What is he done? He hugged him. First of all, he hugged him. Why is he hug him? So he doesn't bow down. After he hugged him, he kissed him. And after that, they cry. Why did they cry? Because he knew, Esav knew and Yaakov knew. They both knew that Esav sonel Yaakov. Esav always will hate us. When is he not going to hate us? When we keep mitzvot. And the reason that they hate us, Hazal say why? Because we received the Holy Torah and they didn't. And now we can understand what it's mentioned in the Parsha, that all of that Yaakov Avinu bowed down. Number one, it's bowing down to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, as the Ramah Mipano explained. And if we look at the Zohar HaKadosh, what Hazal explained to us, that here Yaakov Avinu bowed 7 times to destroy the entire evil forces that came with Esav. And why did Esav suddenly decide to run? Because Esav was frightened that if Yaakov Avinu will bow down, one more bow down, his life in danger. So what has he done? He ran immediately and he hugged him, so he can't bow down. And from here we learn what it means bowing down. So we learn to the Pshat, Remez, Drash, Sod, everything in one pasuk. What's hiding? The Pshat of the Dvarim, you read it, it looks like. Yes, it sounds like. But when you learn the Parashat HaShavua in depth, when you look at the Mefarshim, when you look at the commentaries, you can understand what's hiding behind everything. Let's move on to verse 19, chapter 33, verse 19. And here we'll see something very, very interesting, what the Torah tells us. ויקן את חלקת השדה אשר נטע שם אוהלו מיד בני חמור אבי שכם במאה קשתה.
He bought the parcel of land upon which he pitched his tent from the children of Hamor, Shechem's father, for 100 kesitas.
Okay. Rabotai, just to remind you, that's not part of the show. I didn't plan it because I didn't write it. Here the Torah tells us that Yaakov Avinu bought a piece of land in Shechem. We know that Avraham Avinu bought a piece of land where? In Hebron, that's Ma'arat HaMachpelah. Yaakov Avinu bought a piece of land here, B'mea Kishta. Where is that? In Shechem. You know where is that piece of land? That's the grave of Yosef. Who else bought another piece? That was David HaMelech. From Aravna Yevusi, that he bought, what is he bought? Har HaMoriah, Bet HaMikdash. 3 people, 3 of our fathers that bought 3 land. And those 3 land, Rabotai, today they're not in our hand. Not Ma'arat HaMachpelah, not Kever Yosef HaTzadik, and not Har HaMoriah. That means Bet HaMikdash. That means you see from here, although that we bought it, we have no control on it. And Rabota, you know who's in control of all of these 3? Ishmael, our cousin. That's off the show. Let's go now to our show. Here the Torah tells us that Yaakov Avinu bought a piece of land in Shechem from Hamor. Hamor was the father of Shechem, the city been named after the son that called Shechem. Yaakov Avinu bought a piece of land there for 100 kishta. That was the currency that was at that time, and Yaakov Avinu paid to Hamor, the father of Shechem. And we have to understand, why did Yaakov buy it? Because the Torah doesn't tell us that Yosef HaTzadik been buried there. Yosef HaTzadik been buried there many years later, only after Bnei Israel into Eretz Israel with Yoshua bin Nun, like we're learning on Sunday. So what's happening here? Why did Yaakov Avinu suddenly decide to buy it now? So listen to that. Rabbi Ovadia Misforno. Rabbi Ovadia Misforno was a great rabbi, great scholar person, great commentary, that he wrote commentary on all the Torah. He born in a city of Cesena. Cesena, it's a city in the north of Italy. He born 550 years ago. By the way, he was also a doctor. In his profession, he was a doctor. The Sforno, Rabbi Ovadia Misforno, was a doctor in his profession. And in his commentary on the Torah, listen what he explained. He explained something extraordinary. He explained the main reason that Yaakov Avinu bought the piece of land in Shechem, because he didn't want to build an altar, because he's supposed to build the altar, you remember. And he wanted to thank Sakadosh Baruch Hu. He didn't want to build the altar in a strange land that not belonged to him. That means he wanted to build the altar on a land that belonged to a Jewish person, to belong to him. So what is he done? He paid 100 kishta. Where do we learn that? Say, Rabbi Ovadia Misforno something interesting. He said, David HaMelech said in Tehillim, in chapter 137, verse 4. What is David HaMelech said there? David HaMelech said that when Bnei Israel, when the Jewish people been taken to exile during the first destruction, what happened? The Babylonian asked the Jewish people, the Levite amongst the Jewish people, to sing the song of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What is the Levite say to the Babylonian? איך נשיר את שיר אדוני על אדמת נכר? How can we sing the song of the Almighty on a land that not belong to us, אדמת נכר, that not belong to HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Hazal there explained that what the Levite done, what did they done? That all of those that play the violin and play all different instruments, they cut the top of their finger, so they couldn't play anymore. So they didn't sing. So say Rabbi Ovadia Misforno, you know what was the secret behind it? He said the secret is that Yaakov Avinu didn't want to build the altar on a land that doesn't belong to him. That doesn't belong, that he bought and it belonged to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That the altar can't be on a strange land. That's mean, and when I say strange land, that not belong to a Jewish person. That's Rabbi Ovadia Misforno. I saw a different commentary that brought that the Gaon Hida, Rabbi Chaim Yosef Azulai, bring in the name of Rabbi Yeshaya Ditrani. I will bring him just now again. And he explained that the main reason that Yaakov Avinu bought that piece of land, that he explained whenever Yaakov Avinu rested or sat for a year or two, immediately he bought the land. And Yaakov Avinu was worried. Why he was worried? He was worried if he's going to build the altar in a land that not belong to him, okay, the member of Shechem, the member of the city of Shechem, will say, listen, you build the altar here, it's not belong to you, that land, they're going to destroy the altar, okay? So he say, he bought the land, and now they can't destroy the altar as long that he lived there. Because that piece of land belonged to who? To Yaakov Avinu. And we know that later on, as I explained, Yosef Tzaddik been buried there in Shechem. So now we can understand why did Yaakov Avinu bought the land, a piece of land, and a city of Shechem. Let's continue, and now we're going to move on to chapter 34, because I'm trying to do as much as I can in chapter 4, but in chapter 34, I'm going to skip and I'm going to move to verse 25. And in verse 25, it says like this, Vayehi bayom ashelishi, bihiyotam koavim, vayikhu shne bnei Yaakov, Shimon veLevi, ahedina ish harbo, vayavohu al ha'ir, betach vayargu kol zachar.
It came to pass on the third day, when they were in pain, the two of Yaakov's sons, Shimon and Levy, Dinah's brothers, each took his sword, and they came upon the city confidently and killed every male.
Here we see that when Yaakov Avinu heard what happened with Dinah, he asked the member of the Shechem, and Shechem agreed, Hamor and Shechem, the father and the son agreed to do whatever. Not only that, they will pay everything. So Yaakov Avinu, the father, asked them to get circumcised. If they get circumcised, they become Jewish. But the question that the Mefarshim ask, well, we don't understand what's happening here. Nachon, that Shechem, that took Dinah, he kidnapped Dinah. He deserved punishment of death, we explain. Okay. Why that Shimon and Levi have to destroy the entire city? They kill all the city. Why? Why are you killing all the members of the city if one person sinned? That question been asked by Rabbi Chaim ben Attar. Rabbi Chaim ben Attar, born in the city of Sali 324 years ago, and in his commentary, Orach Chaim HaKadosh, that's the book that he wrote, He asked that question. Why Shimon and Levy have to kill the entire city? Before I explain, I want to do a bit of explanation. How old Shimon and Levy was in that age? Shimon and Levy was in the age of 13. Shimon was 13, Levy was 12, almost 13. Levy was almost 13. And the Mefarshim said that Shimon and Levy they were so angry that they wanted revenge. But who given them the right to do what they done? That's the question. So the Gaon, Rabbi Chaim ben Attar, explained like this. And he explained that when Shechem, the son of Hamor, come to Yaakov Avinu and he asked, listen, let's make peace between us, don't be cross. Yaakov Avinu told them to circumcise. So what Shimon and Levi done, on the third day, when everyone is Spain, and Hazal explained that the third day of everything, it also happened with Avraham Avinu, that we say, Vayera elav be'elonei mamre. What it means, Vayera elav be'elonei mamre? Hazal explained it was on the third day of the circumcision. And that day is the most painful. The third day after operation, after every sick, Hazal explained, is the most painful day. Shimon and Levi took their sword and go in and they're killing the entire city. When they're going to kill the entire city, what happened there? The member of the city, when they saw that they're coming to kill their king and their priests, immediately they stood up to protect Shechem and Hamor, his father. Not only that, they was ready to go to a war against Shimon and Levi. And Hazal tell us in the Mishnah in Masechet Sanhedrin, the Mishnah in chapter 8, Mishnah 7, okay, Hazal tell us that a person like this, it's considered a rodef. What it means rodef? That there is a danger now because the member of the city protecting their king and their priests, and they're going to go war against Shimon and Levi. Shimon and Levi say, in that case, I have din rodef here. They're putting my life in danger, I'm going to kill them. So that's why Shimon and Levi not only kill Shechem and his father Hamor, they killed the entire city. Another reason why Shimon and Levi killed the entire city, bring also the Gaon Rabbi Chaim ben Attar. Rabbi Chaim ben Attar saying, when they kidnapped Dinah, the member of the city they helped Shechem to kidnap Dinah. When he kidnapped Dinah, we know that what he done. By that he done it, he tortured her. And Hazal say in the Gemara in Masechet Sanhedrin in page 57 folio 1, sorry, 57 folio 1. 57 folio 1, yes. A Gentile, not only a Gentile, also a Jew, that if he kidnap a human being, that means that dealing with human trafficking, his punishment is death. Shimon and Levi say, Rachabiki, not only the prince of Shechem, that Shechem himself kidnap our sister, the member of the city help him. In that case, the entire city obligate for the punishment of death, and that's why they killed him. So now we understand why Shimon and Levi killed the entire city and didn't kill only the king and his father. From here, we're reaching to a different question. Rabbi Yonatan Eifshitz, born in the city of Krakow in Poland, he born 330 years ago. In his commentary on the Torah, when it's come to this verse, he asked a question. He said, I don't understand. The kings surround Shechem, the king that was all over the ministers that belong to other city, and the kings, they see now that Shimon and Levi killed the entire city. Why they didn't make coalition and go on against Shimon and Levi, against Bnei Israel, the entire Yaakov, our father Yaakov Avinu, and his family? Why they didn't make a coalition and go on to war against them? After all, they saw that people that there was neighbors, there was the nation, been killed by two brothers. Why they didn't done the coalition? Rabotai, listen how Gdolei Israel explain and how is it relevant to us. Listen how they explain. They say like this. They say, what happened in this case? Shechem, the member of Shechem, the king Hamor and his son Shechem, and the member of the city of Shechem, they all got circumcised. What it means circumcised? They become Jews, they converted. When Shimon and Levy killed them, they killed them on the third day, when they're already Jews. Say Rabbi Yonatan Eifshitz, when a Jewish person gets killed, the nation doesn't care. They say the member of Shechem decide to convert the Jewish. That there is a war between them, leave the Jewish. That the Jewish blood is free. Where do we see it, Rabotai, and how is it relevant to us? When a terrorist gets shot by a soldier, a policeman, or even a member of this civilian in Israel, the entire world go against the Jewish people. How can it be what brutal? He's a terrorist against Israel. But when a terrorist kills innocent people, when he blow himself, when he stab, when he shot, the world keep quiet. That means the Jewish blood is hefker. No one cares. Say Rabbi Yonatan Eifshitz, the kings that surround the city of Shechem, the minister, wherever they was, when they saw that, they say, it's another Jews, another Jews to be killed. That's, we're not going to put ourselves in danger. He said, from here you learn that people don't care about the Jewish people. And we see it today, Rabotai. We see it clearly. It's very clear that the Jewish blood is hefker all over the world. We saw it in the time of Obama. This Obama, Rabotai, the Kabbalistic rabbi explained, if you do gematria of Hussein, Barack, Obama, it's Amalek. Remember, Hussein, Barack, Obama, Amalek, he's Amalek. Not for nothing I'm cursing him, because we have a mitzvah. You never heard me cursing. We have a mitzvah from the Torah to destroy the descendants of Amalek. Barack Hussein Obama is Amalek, remember. So now we can understand why the nation around didn't make a coalition against the children of Yaakov, or Yaakov on the member of his house. Let's move on, and with that I would like to conclude to chapter 35, verse 19. And let's see what it says here. And here we're going to see something very interesting. Look what it says and what it tells us. And we spoke about the beginning of the show, we'll explain. ותמות רחל ותקבר בדרך אפרתה היא בית-לחם.
Thus Rachel died and was buried on the road to Ephrat, which is Bethlehem.
Okay. We see here something very interesting. We explained the beginning of the show that when Rachel Imenu passed away, what happened? Yaakov Avinu buried her on the side of the road, on a road to Bethlehem. And many of the Mefarshim ask, wait, what's happening here? What's happening? Why we see that Yaakov Avinu didn't bought a piece of land and bury her? I'm going to bring two different opinions. I'm going to bring the Midrash, and I'm going to bring a different commentary. I saw a commentary of Rabbi Yeshaya Ditrani. Rabbi Yeshaya Ditrani, born in the city of Tirani in the south of Italy. He born 855 years ago. And he asked this question: how come that Yaakov Avinu didn't bought a piece of land and buried Rachel Imenu? After all, Rachel Imenu, why did in the side of the road, in the middle of the road, you bury Rachel? And he explained like this. He said that Yaakov Avinu didn't buy land to bury Rachel for simple reason. Because he knew that if he buy a piece of land that belonged to someone, many years later, that piece of land gonna be taken and people gonna disgrace the grave by destroying it and they might gonna turn the grave to an orchard, a vineyard, or just a field to plant. And that's gonna desecrate Rachel Imenu, the grave of Rachel Imenu. So he decided, you know what? I rather bury her on a road, on the side of the road, and there no one gonna desecrate. Why? Because there no one filled, no one harvest, no one plant, no one do nothing. That's the side of the road. Everyone stop, everyone move. That's on Pshat of the Dvarim. So the Midrash bring a beautiful commentary on it. And with that, I'm going to conclude. The Midrash tell us that the main reason that Rachel Imenu been buried on a road, Derech Ephrata, there's a secret here. After the destruction of the first temple, Nebuzar Adam, the Babylonian, took Bnei Israel and he took him where? To Babylon. When he took him to Babylon, they have to pass. Where did they have to pass? Bethlehem. Hazal said that the Jewish people stood up there, Bnei Israel stood up and cried to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, begged to HaKadosh Baruch Hu on a grave of Rachel Imenu. And not only that, they begged to Rachel Imenu to daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu to redeem us. Hazal said the same gonna happen before the Mashiach come. Rachel Imenu Ema Banim. What it means, the mother of the children? The mother of the children of Israel. The Hazal explained that in the merit of Rachel Imenu, the Jewish people are going to be redeemed. Not in the merit of Avraham Avinu, not in the merit of Yitzhak, not in the merit of Yaakov Avinu, not of the merit of the other three mothers, only in the merit of Rachel Imenu. Not even Moshe Rabbeinu, only Rachel Imenu. Why? Because Rachel Imenu given everything that she had to Leah. And when she gave it to Leah and she didn't complain, and when she saw how people spoke about her, she kept her mouth shut. Like we explained in the previous show, that merit can redeem the Jewish people. And Hazal say Yaakov Avinu knew that. He knew the secret behind it. Rachel Imenu knew the secret. And where they have to be buried? Derech Ephrata. What it means Derech Ephrata? Next to Bethlehem. Why Dafka next to Bethlehem? There is another pirush on a higher level. I will bring it now. It just came to me now while I'm talking to you. They knew that Rachel Imenu can redeem the Jewish people. While I'm talking to you, it just clicked to me. I heard another hidush many years back. Why did Rachel Dafka buried next to Bethlehem? Avot HaTumah. What does it mean, Avot HaTumah? The father of all the Tumah that there is in Bethlehem. Because we know that the Christian believe that Yoske, where is he born? And where is he? In Bethlehem. That's what they believe. That's kind of a Tumah, that's kind of impurity, evil forces. Who can fight it? Only Rachel Imenu. Where she can fight it? On Derech Bethlehem. The mystical rabbi explained, now you can understand why Rachel Imenu buried there. Why? Because Rachel Imenu can fight those evil forces. That the Christian believe that that's where he born, in Bethlehem. As a matter of fact, we done a show, he never born there. He born in the city of Nazareth. We explain which Nazareth. Okay, it's not the Nazareth that we know today. It's next to the city of Nazareth. It's not exactly Nazareth. We explained that. Please God, after we finish the series of Shorim, I will do also a show about him, maybe for the New Year's, for us to understand what's happening. So Hazal explained, the mystical rabbi explained the secret behind it. Rachel Imenu not for nothing been buried on the middle of the road, on the side of the road, whatever you want to call it, Emaderech. Rachel Imenu specifically, there's secret why she buried there. Because Rachel Imenu, she's the one that can wake up the Mashiach to come and redeem us. Be'ezrat Hashem, that we should merit that Rachel Imenu will stood up and wake up the heaven, shake the heaven, and stood up in the front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, daven, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu will listen to her praise, and then he will send us Mashiach Tzidkenu speedily in our day, in her merit. Amen, Ken Yeh Ratzon. If you have any question, please unmute and ask question regarding.
Hello, it's Anthony.
Hello, Anthony.
How are you?
Baruch Hashem, and you?
All right, thanks. These 400 men that went to attack Yaakov, you say they were evil forces. Were they human beings? And if they were human beings, where were they from? These 400 men. Where exactly were they from, and who were they?
Okay, so there's different commentary about it. What does it mean 400 forces, evil forces? First of all, where did he have them? It's very simple. Esav lived in a city of Sodom, Sa'ir. We have many people, because in a previous parsha, it's tell us the descendants of Esav. Esav have a few wives, and he have many children, he have many grandchildren. We know that Amalek came from Eliphaz. Eliphaz was his son that reigned after Yaakov. So that's answered very quickly, very easily. But where is those 400 evil forces? What it mean 400 evil forces? Those evil forces, Hazal say, how did they get them? So Hazal tell us that Avraham Avinu, before Avraham Avinu passed away, he gave everything to Yitzhak, but he have also other three wives besides Sarah, Hagar, Keturah, Pilegesh, those three. And he have children from her, and he have to give him. And it says, Vayitan Avraham matanot libnot hapelagshim. Rashi HaKadosh say, what gift did he give them? He given them the name of the evil forces. That means that they know the evil forces. There's certain names that you create with impurity. So Hazal explained there on a makom that Esav HaRasha, although that he knew all the Torah, he gone to the other side. What it mean to the other side? Esav HaRasha decided to go to use evil forces, name of evil forces. Who was with that? That was Lavan, Bilam. Remember Bilam, that was a great witchcrafter. Not only that, we learn that, we explained there, that Lavan, we explained that Lavan was Bilam. Some say that no, Lavan was the father of Bilam. We have Peor, Baal Peor, that's also evil forces. Okay, so Esav took that side, the negative side, and he can create all of those evil forces to come to fight Yaakov Avinu. Why dafka evil forces? Because normal human being can't win Yaakov Avinu. He was a righteous man. So why did he decide to bring those evil forces to try with their evil forces to cause harm to the Jewish people? The same like Balak, you remember Balak, that he called Bilam to curse the Jewish people. Why did Balak call Bilam? Balak himself was a witchcrafter. So why did he need? No, the power of Balak is by his mouth, of Bilam, that he can curse. What does it mean curse? With evil forces, with names. It's special name that the Kabbalistic rabbis say, the same like when you say special name, that there is good angel's name, okay? There is also good name that you can create with the name of an angel, good angel. But Has v'Shalom, if you go to the negative side, you can create the evil forces. You follow?
Yes, I think so. Thanks very much.
Okay. Pleasure. Any other question, Rabotai, regarding the Parsha? Sorry, I'm just talking for an hour and 15 minutes. My throat goes so dry, I needed to drink something. Okay, if there is no more question, Rabotai, I wish all of you a good night. Have a great Shabbos. Keep safe, keep healthy. And please God, on Sunday, we do the third part of the She'ul about the book of Yeshua. Wish you all a great Shabbos. Shabbat Shalom to everyone.
And you, Rav, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Shabbat
Thank
shalom.
you.
Have a great
Thank you.
Shabbos.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot.
Bye.
Great
Good
Ciao,
Shabbos.
Rabbi.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone. Ciao, ciao.
Good night.
Good night.